Henshin a go guys and gals and fighting game enthusiasts of all ages. Kyle here, back to bring you more news on anything fighting game related or just hype related in general. I'm here doing another double part news report related to two particular games, one being BlazBlue Cross Tag Team Battle. I think I said that name right, and also Street Fighter V, because some interesting events have happened as of October 4th today. And before I get started, I apologize for my voice. It's a little hoarse, but I'll get over it quickly. But I didn't want that to stop me from just bringing this kind of news because really I just didn't want to get behind, and I feel like it was important enough to talk about. So how about we get started and talk about BlazBlue Cross Tag Team Battle. Yeah, I said that right. Hopefully I said that right. So as of a few days ago from, I want to say a New York con, an early build as far as gameplay is dropped. So I want to take a look at the bit of film or footage that we do have. Yeah, because it's definitely film on YouTube. Yeah, let's take a look at it so we can, I guess, just talk about it. So this is really me just reacting to it for the first time. And we'll just talk about it what we need to. Now, as far as everything goes, I'm very excited for this game. And this will honestly be my first experience with a BlazBlue game. Or, yeah, basically an Arc System game outside of, I want to say, Guilty Gear or Under Night in Birth. So this would be a great introduction into BlazBlue. But will people play it? And honestly, the answer is who cares, because I'm going to get it regardless. And just the fact that they have the crossover characters is awesome. So I just want to see how it goes. It looks like it'll be 2v2 for the most part, but that could possibly change. Who knows? So let's take a look.
I couldn't take it, couldn't stand another minute.
Damn. Okay, the music's already got me.
All of the joy that I had known for all my life.
Wow, I think they actually did save money on the sprites.
Can't escape from crossing fate.
Can't escape from crossing fate. I will say this about Arc System games: they always have an interesting title card before a fight. Oh, okay. So it's Marvel 2. You have Marvel 1. You have a striker. You have a character and you have a striker. Okay. Okay. Okay, the music's definitely hype. Combos are pretty like what you would expect. Alright. Alright, I like it. I like it. Her voice is just a tiny bit annoying, but maybe it's because I haven't seen Ruby and I don't know how hard this voice actress goes in. Alright, Ragna and Jane left. Oh, Renaissance. Did she? Wow, what the hell? Renaissance. I can't even pronounce that. Renouncing Blaze? What is that? X Factor? What happens when he pops it? Oh shit, it is X Factor. Alright. Damn, he happy birthdayed the shit out of them. He's got one too. Resonance finish. I was saying Renaissance finish. Anime! Oh, look at this sword. It's my fucking dick. I've seen the anime for BlazBlue, and all I know about is Ragna. Oh, that's it. Alright. And then we see our next video. Fucking Persona. Alright. So, essentially, what did we learn? I learned one thing. I need to watch Ruby. Still, I haven't even seen that show, but I think I will give it a look-see. But definitely, because if it has music like that, I certainly will. Jeez, I'm trying to think. It's just essentially, it's Marvel 1 and 2. You have a striker, they come in, give an assist. Pretty, straightforward. It's good, though. Definitely basic build, moving the sprites from one game to the other, although I think they had to make new ones for Ruby. Will it be good? I think so. Honestly, I don't feel like it's going to, break down any walls, but it's not to say that it can't do something that hasn't already been done very well, which I feel like it's going to do and get a lot of people playing this. It's another good, solid Arc System game. So, honestly, I don't know. What more do you want?
Crossing fate.
I just want to address this real quick. The awesome intro title cards. Like, that's sick. I love that. Can't escape. Yeah, you can't escape. Heaven or Hell, Duel 1. Can't escape from Crossing Fate. I don't know where they come up with that shit, but that's just awesome. I love that.
So forever
Fight!
haunted.
Where are you looking?
Can I get a soundtrack for this game, by the way? Yeah, it's gonna be dope. Alright, so it looks like Arc System's got another solid, basically, egg in their basket. I honestly was never worried about it for a second. I mean, I can't honestly think of a really poor Arc System made game, but this one is honestly, I feel like it's gonna encourage more people to play Persona since you have Under Night characters. It's I would say it's Capcom I think it's All-Star Jam, or an SNK versus Cap, and what have you, any of those games, but for Arc Systems. So yeah, it's definitely a good way to kind of advertise, hey, we got all three of these games in one game, and so that might encourage people, hey, you like Persona? You can go play those games. They've been out for a while. I've never played Persona Ultramax. I always thought those games were awesome, but I just kind of never branched out to play them. But I think, honestly, I might give it a try. Someone could teach me. I just know those games are hard as hell to play. But regardless, I think we need to address the elephant in the room right now, and that is related to Street Fighter V. Is it worth it? Honestly. And when I say is it worth it, I have a quandary with Capcom, and I've said this before. They've done, I don't want to say they've done bad. Well, yes and no. They've done bad by not addressing certain things, like Marvel Infinite, for example. Really good functioning game, really fun. Underwhelming, though. You can like this game for what it is, gameplay-wise, but not like the other aspects, like the character design, what have you. And Street Fighter V had that same issue. Very small roster, very limited options, but at the time we didn't notice it. Or we did notice it, but we didn't acknowledge it because it's Street Fighter. We all knew what we were expecting. So the hardcore people were, oh man, you guys are complaining too much. This game is awesome. This is for fighting gamers, by fighting gamers. And then we get into it, and we sort of kind of see what's under the hood after a while and how it performs. And Marvel Infinite seems to address the performance issues that Street Fighter V had in the past and get rid of those, but has the same content issues of basically what's actually here after you play it for more than, I'd say, an hour or two. And as far as esports and everything, I feel like it'll do great, but at the same time, will it be enough to keep people in? And so I don't feel like it'll suffer. Do I feel like it'll lose people? Yes. Do they want to? And should we fail to support Capcom? I don't think so, because companies don't necessarily learn from not buying their product. And I say and start off with this because Arcade Edition has essentially come out. Well, it was talked about, but now it is officially out as of January 2018. And we have a trailer, so how about we look at that real quick before I go any further. Alright, so the reveal trailer. Let's see what we got. 30 years, okay. Very glossy. Very glossy. Okay, it actually doesn't look bad. Oh wow, Chun. Rishido, Manat. Whoa, Laura looks awesome. Everything's so textured. Okay. Arcade Edition. Okay. I saw a picture of this particular thing. I want to talk about that just before we move on with the rest of it. That's good that they're giving all these modes away for free. I'm glad they did that because That honestly should have been something that was already there, but making up for past mistakes. Hey, that's our apologies. And I actually have news from Ono stating like that was the case. And these guys do listen to us. So let's see what else. $39.99. That's a. I honestly feel like it should be $29. Okay. So here's the thing. We have photos of what it's going to look like. And these are the few that we have here. Before we go any further, I want to talk about what they're offering here. We got essentially what I feel like it should be a $30 game instead of a $40 game. But we'll just take it in stride here. Is it enough to keep people in? Yes and no. Yes, because people who have been asking for this kind of thing are basically kind of getting what they want. I definitely want a new V-Triggers. Now, is that enough essentially for me to keep me interested? I will have to decide that on January, because as far as new V-Triggers go, yes, I'm glad. Do they still have the same critical arts? Yes, it seems that way. However, we can't judge it yet. So, I did have more photos, and these are a few. These are a few that I actually found along with a few extras. That interface looks great. I can't lie about that. The arcade edition that they do have is essentially, well, and I feel like this is, in like I could say this all day, something that should have been there from the start, but basically your classic fights throughout I want to say the whole Street Fighter series. So these fights are going to take place, basically you activate your arcade mode, all your history of Street Fighter games are going to be here to play, which I feel like is a cool thing. That's a really interesting thing that they add. It's interesting, but as far as enough, that'll have to be decided later. So let's see a bit more. Alright. Now I'm hoping these aren't just restricted for the story mode, and these are actually new stages. Alright. The interface looks different. The HUDs are a bit more golden and glossy. The numbers are different. And it looks like here, from the looks of it, we have Chun's new V-Trigger. So we have 2 V-Triggers now instead of just one, which, I mean, is good. But like I said, it's something we'll just have to wait and see. I can't necessarily tell what's going on, but, I mean, it's a Kokoken. Now, whether it's an actual V-Trigger or a new attack, I can't necessarily tell. What it's doing, we don't know yet. This one is kind of awesome, I honestly thought. Nadeshiko coming in with, like, the chair! Give him the chair! That whole thing. I've been examining these for a while, and I can't necessarily tell what it's going to do differently than what's already existing. Mika already has Nadeshiko coming out of nowhere. And with this in the chair, it looks like Mika has to build up 3 bars now instead of just 2. Which is interesting. So, yeah, we'll just have to look at that further. Hopefully more things come out. Bison has something, it's really hard to tell what's going on here. Really hard to tell what's going on. I can't, that seems like it's a new attack, but I'm going to say it's a V-Trigger. And that's honestly all we got. So, is this going to save Street Fighter? Interesting question. I've been thinking about it all day, honestly, and I feel like it's going to do a lot. And in an interview I was watching with Ono, he was essentially just addressing, hey, we are listening to you guys. We do hear what you guys have said. We appreciate you for supporting, even though the game wasn't the best. But is it enough at this point in time? And as we know, and it's not like the iterations of Street Fighter don't already exist. There are like 4 iterations of Street Fighter 2. Well, I can't even go through all the names, but we all know Street Fighter has multiple iterations. That's a given. It seems like it's always been that way. So maybe this wasn't actually such an obvious, or excuse me, wasn't such a surprising thing. It's kind of like, well, it's about time. But my worry is that they might not address it as much after this, but I feel like they could still, what I feel like this is the grand time for, they can still strike while the iron is hot. And adding just one new V-Trigger, I know that opens the door for new gameplay, and I've been watching interviews saying, like, you're going to have to relearn your character, and yeah, you are, but are they going to address the other things? I mean, it has a shiny new HUD, and they've been going crazy with the costumes. They're giving it away free, the updates for people who already own the game, which is good. I'm glad they're doing that. But at the same time, I fear Capcom won't capitalize as much as they could. They're adding another V-Trigger. They could go totally Third Strike on this, and I've talked about it before. They could give the game new criticals. They could give the game more they could just, this needs to snowball. This is a big snowball opportunity. And before I go on too long, basically, Marvel is in the same way. They have their DLC characters, and not to go on a skew about Marvel, but it's kind of in the same boat here as Street Fighter V. They can essentially give their characters away, knowing that, hey, we're sorry that maybe this isn't necessarily what you wanted. Even though our hardcore people don't necessarily address this as much as some, it's still important that we give this to everybody. And I mean, that kind of thing is totally possible. Giving away free DLC for the sake of, like, hey, we acknowledge that some of this stuff isn't the greatest, and that's important. So I still think it's important to support Capcom. I'll definitely give it a shot, but at the end of the day, I feel like this is going to bring up a lot of questions, or a lot of questions that already exist. Is Capcom tanking? And it has, but that's kind of already been a thing established. Capcom has always kind of been that company that's been, it's been choppy always, and I don't feel like they're a bad company. I don't feel like they can, they'll fail completely, but I do feel like they can address a lot of things that a lot of people are looking for. And this arcade edition shows that they are capable of adding this stuff, but they just need to give a bit more instead of maybe just kind of sitting on their haunches, just seeing how things will go. Because maybe they feel like they're Capcom and they'll get that support regardless, which they will, but at the same time, they can lose a lot of people in that a time of waiting. They'll never lose their hardcore fans. Like, I love Capcom. I'll probably never blow them off completely. I might not play all the games that they have, but I will support them as a company because I like having them around. They make a lot of good stuff. They've been around for years, and it's important that you support them. Hating the game, I mean, you can not like the game, but saying that we should go and get rid of this game, boycott it, that doesn't necessarily help, because then those games just don't come back, period. They go away forever. So I think I'll end it there before I just go on any longer. But I think this could possibly be a sign of just like an opening. I feel like they should take it, and maybe we'll have another Super Arcade Edition, because I think of it like Street Fighter 4 had Vanilla, you had Arcade, you had Super, and then they had Ultra. So that's what, and Omega. So that's 5 iterations of Street Fighter 4 before they finally kind of settle on Ultra, which was deemed the best version of that game. So possibly it'll go that route. So guys, I'm gonna chime out for now. I'm gonna take care of myself a little bit better. A bit more well. The next time my voice is killing me. But anyway, I want you guys to take care. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Shine on, guys, and I'll see you next time here. Back for more video game news or anything else. Take care.